Hey everyone, Michael Firth here, founding Field Advisory Board member and Crown with Neumi, and it is my pleasure to do this particular recording to give you an update on the compensation plan. Let's get into the compensation plan. Firstly, as I said before, we have no membership fees. Isn't that fantastic? In addition to that, we have $50 is the standard price, wholesale price of our product right across the world, no matter what country you're in. So you might pay $50 plus taxes and duties in your country, but that's the core. So it's a use and tell program, meaning even as a Crown, all I have to do is use both products. That's $100. That's, guess what? We don't have any dilution of funds. $1 equals a point, which means it is really easy to understand this program. Now, there are 8 ways you can profit with our compensation plan. We have weekly commissions and monthly commissions. We like to refer to them as buckets. The front bucket is the fast money maker, and the back bucket is the team leveraged income. So fast money makers means you can earn money in the first week. So that's great to make you profitable. And then the team leverage income takes time to grow, but that's where the more residual ongoing incomes come from. So let's start off with the fast money makers. There are 4 ways you can profit in the weekly commissions. The first one is retail sales, then preferred customers, then welcome pack purchases from members, and the power of 3 up front. So let's just isolate one of these right now. Retail sales. Now, Neumi is in 60 plus countries around the world. About maybe 10 of those countries are fully operational, fully registered on the ground with product delivering on the ground from those countries. You can buy a bottle of Neumi for $50 and sell it to a non-member in those fully operational countries for $65, keeping the profit. Now, I've been involved in this industry for decades and I've virtually never sold product that way. Just so we're clear, it's not a big part of the business. Now, the other 50 plus countries out of all the countries around the world that we're in, some of them are NFR. What does that mean? Not for retail. Now, that means you can have as many preferred customers as you like, buying directly off of Neumi. You can have as many members in your team as you like. You just can't do that first one, which is retail to a non-member, purchase and sell it on a shelf or anything like that. So just be clear. Retail sales in that capacity really just applies to the fully operational markets. Now, let's hop into the most important ones, these 2. Preferred customers and welcome packs. How does this work? Real simple. As you go out there and you use our app, which is our core way of driving the business, and people watch videos and go, wow, this sounds fantastic. When someone wants to join you, guess what? Anyone who joins you directly, you'll earn 25% on their purchase. So hypothetically, someone buys a $1,000 pack of products to have some product in the cupboard and rotation stock to build their business. Well, you'll get $250 for that. Right, for any one-off purchase like that up front. If someone was a customer, let's say, and they purchased just 2 of the products and they did that every single month ongoing, you'd earn $25 from that $100 purchase ongoing as they're on auto ship. Really simple stuff, right? So then welcome packs and preferred customers pay 25%, but then anyone you know, who do they know that you don't even contact with now? So you can earn up to 7 levels deep with an extra 3% for that. Now, you initially qualify for 3 levels deep immediately. And then in order to unlock levels 4, 5, 6, and 7, you'll need to rank advance. What does that mean? Build a bigger business, and I'll cover that later in the slide. So first I want to show you 25% frontline and up to 6 more generations at 3%, which is fantastic. Now let's talk about the power of 3. This is an explosive engine room we've just added as a permanent feature, and this is the extra money we're throwing on the table now. So what happens here is when you're going out there introducing people, when you have 3 members that you have personally introduced, nothing to do with upline support, but you have put in 3 people of your own, 3 separate teams, each purchasing 100 PV. That is level 1 of our one-off payment of $50 in the weekly commissions. Now, let's do some sums. You had the 130-10 philosophy I said before. By the time you shoot for your first 3 frontline, you might have 3, you might have 4, you might have 5, you might have 6 members, right? And you'll get this one payment. But in addition to that, you'll have customer volume as well. So this is the bare minimum we're talking about looking at here. And even if you did the sums on this, let's say this was achieved in the first week, right? Or first month. Guess what? You're going to receive $50 for achieving all 3 people plus 25, 25, and 25 on their purchase. That's $125. You now have enough money to pay for next month's auto ship payment, and you're in the black. Fantastic. This is the engine room that explodes the business. Now, what happens here is all the weekly commissions, I need to point out, customers are paid in the weekly commissions for life. Member purchases from the welcome packs, for example, they are paid in the weekly commissions for the first 30 days of that new member's business. Okay, so anyone downline, they have for their first 30 days, any packs they purchase, you'll earn the 25% on and those 6 levels. As soon as a member passes the first 30 days of their business, that's known as the enrollment period, then all future purchases from those members would be paid in the monthly commissions. So just making sure you understand that. Customer volume stays in the weekly commissions for life, and member purchases are paid for the first 30 days in there. And then when that bucket fills, it tips into the next, and then we go to the monthly commissions. Now, all monthly commissions are going to go through now. There are 4 ways to earn in the monthlies as well. They're all paid on member purchases only, no customer volume, because that's still getting paid in the weekly. I'm sure that makes sense to you. So the first bonus here is a continuation of the little teaser we gave you in week 1, being able to earn $50 from the power of 3 from your first week, if you like, right? And now this is a recurring power of 3, but there is a few conditions attached to this one. So basically what happens here is you, just like you did in the weekly commissions, you go out there and you have 3 people who are purchasing 100 PV. And when you have that in place, as well as being a senior member, which is somebody who has a structure of 1,500 PV in their team, now you'll get the $50 every single month ongoing. Okay, in addition to all the other bonuses I'm going to show you, like the uni level, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is like a roadmap, or we'll call it a runway. It won't be your permanent focus in the business, but it's the focus for people to get started, because everybody knows they can introduce at least 3 people. But if you go back to the 130-10 philosophy I showed at the start, by the time you get to your second month, if you continue to follow the philosophies we have, you won't have just 3 members. You might have 6 teams by now. And you'll have customer volume on top of that, meaning senior member would be easily achievable. Let me do the maths for you. If you had 130-10, 20 customers, 10 members, let's halve that. Let's say you had 5 members, there's 500 points. Let's say you had 10 customers, there's 1,000 points. Boom, you can see it on the screen, you are a senior member. So if you build the business with 130-10 philosophy, everything rolls seamlessly. Then we move on and we duplicate. At step 2, you want to teach those people to find at least 3 or more people and get the customer volumes as well. Once you've done that and you have achieved 1 star, so if you're a 1 star with 5,000 points, I'm going to show you that in a minute, you would also qualify for the 250 bonus for power of 3, because you've taught a very simple basic step that everybody could do, just find at least 3. Then you teach it 1 more step, and when you do that and you are a 3-star, which you would be with the duplication of the volume shown here, then you would receive $1,500 from the power of 3 bonus structure on top of your other normal weekly commissions. Now, if you've completed your first power of 3 in exactly this structure, guess what? If you want to go out and create another one and earn $3,000 a month instead of $1,500, you can. Remembering our goal is 6 legs, 6 teams, all the way to the very top of the compensation plan. That's focus. Okay, so that probably makes sense. Now let's move on to the uni level. Now, the uni level starts at 3 levels deep and then progresses 7 levels deep, and it has dynamic compression. What does that mean? Well, in a lot of companies, if you introduce somebody and then they introduce somebody and then they introduce somebody, but the people in the middle drop out, they stay as dead spots where you don't get paid on that in most companies. In Neumi, because we're field driven, we said that's ridiculous. Let's just call them dead spots and have dynamic compression, meaning if there was 10 people in a line and 9 of them didn't purchase, the 10th moves up and all of their team under them move up, and you never miss a spot. So you get paid with dynamic compression. When you rank advance your business and grow slightly bigger to senior member, we'll unlock level 4, then 5 at 1 star, then 6 at 2 star, and then 7 at 3 star. So I'm going to show you that in a minute on what that actually means. But as you go through each of the following ranks, it stays the same until you get to crown, where we give you an extra % on level 7. So as I said earlier, in the evolution of our comp plan, then we added another bonus to the comp plan, and that is our infinity bonus. So basically what happens here, when you achieve diamond, which is a significant leadership level, we'll pay you from level 8 to infinity with an extra 0.5%, capping out at a maximum payment for the uni level payment on its own of $2,500. Move through to double diamond, we'll double it as 1% and pay you $5,000 as a cap. Triple diamond, 1.5% with $10,000 payout maximum, and then crown 2%, $15,000 as a payout for a crown as well. Now, keeping in mind, that's just the uni level, infinity bonus on top of the uni level, on top of the power of 3, on top of the weekly commissions altogether. Now, finally, I love this one. It's a leadership bonus pool, which means you're essentially profit sharing with the company right around the world, because you might have a team in your country and 2 or 3 others. Potentially, you might not have a team in all 60 plus countries around the world. But what happens here is we take 6% of the monthly purchases from members, we put them in a global pool, and then we take 1 share of each, so 6 shares, and we put it into 6 separate pools at the end of the month. And when you achieve a 2-star, you'll share with all the 2 stars on that particular leadership bonus pool. In other words, you're profit sharing from the countries you're not even in yet, right through to crown with 6 shares. And it's cumulative, meaning if you're a crown, you're receiving a share of all of the other shares as well. Pretty fantastic. You probably noticed a waterline coming up on the side here as we're going through, and on the left you see the splashes. We just want to represent that, look, the weekly commissions is driving the business. That's what you're doing personally, hence the active income coming in fast. And if the harder you work, the harder you'll, the better results you'll get. And then on the monthly commissions, it's not just linked to you, hence the waterline. Because if you've got lots of members on auto ship, they stick around because the product works. That's a very reliable source of income, like a waterline, hence the visual there. This is the recording on the 11th of June, 2023. There is more enhancements coming in the future, so stay tuned for the next update. All the best.